Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're coming back to you guys today with a tow truck upgrade. We are going to be installing one of the Titan 50-gallon tanks in this 2021 Ram 3500 high output. This truck is a mega cab, came with a 32-gallon tank, and quite frankly, it sucks. So what we did, we got ourselves one of these 50-gallon Titans. I've had this for a while, I just haven't gotten around to it. Meyer already got started while I was editing a video, but what do you think? What's it like, Meyer, working on a brand new vehicle?
It's not crusty, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. It's weird working on something that you don't know what size everything is. It's like I've never messed with like something newer than I guess a 15 or something.
Yeah. So we're disconnecting the filler necks right now.
Yeah.
And then kind of give you guys, I don't think we've ever had this on the lift before.
No, I haven't.
So here's the air suspension. Some freaking beefy brakes. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, dude.
Those things are
thick boy.
That's a really thick rotor. Man. And look at this drive shaft.
Check out this gooseneck hitch.
This is factory drive shaft. I mean, this thing is just...
It's got a rubber isolator on this side too. It's like I don't know if that's a... No, it's not isolator. It's just like a tone ring type. Not tone ring,
Dude,
but
that
like
thing is
it's
massive.
like a vibration damper.
Look at how big the axle is.
The webbing? That's badass.
Yeah, the gooseneck too. Holy Hannah. There's your pesky water and fuel filter right there. Factory exhaust. Like I said, guys, we haven't done much to this other than tune it. And she is heavy. This lift is probably pissed. You know what? Let's check. It's a Cummins, so maybe we have an oil leak. But there is that famous oil catcher / noise damper on the transmission there. And then if you guys look here, look at how thick they made this cross member. I mean, this is impressive. That's a beef. It's what's for dinner. And look at that. They even put an oil filter drain. Hey, Meyer, check this out. Look at this oil drain. So the filter doesn't make a mess everywhere. They put a little catch can right here with a drain. What they've been missing for close to 3 decades. Look at that big harmonic balancer. That is crazy. Just a lot of technology in this thing.
It's funny to see what they decided would work well upgrades.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, we'll go ahead. It's pretty simple. Disconnect the fuel sending unit, disconnect the filler neck up here, and get rid of the 2 fuel straps, and let's get this old one out. We have the fuel tank fully disconnected. We're gonna go ahead and lower this puppy down. Meyer spent about, what, 10 minutes, maybe? Actually, I think we're gonna just raise the truck up, is what we decided. But go ahead, Mert.
I'm gonna go down.
Go ahead. Hopefully we don't die.
Yeah, it's a little more controlled. Ready?
Yep.
You probably have to steady the tank a little bit.
Slow and steady wins the race. There's a vent tube on the back here.
It goes all the way to the top. If I did it correctly, it's disconnected from the top. So check that. Right here, so it doesn't go to the tank, but you have to unclip it.
Oh, that's for the diesel exhaust fluid.
Yeah.
So unclip that.
Yeah. So it's actually a really simple uninstall, really.
Yeah. And then we got that tube free.
Going down.
And I got about 40 miles till E. I'm
Pretty
curious how much fuel's actually in here. And then we did bring the jugs to fill it up a little bit. Hose clamps. Yeah. So again, a lot easier with 2 people, kind of hard filming and trying to help Murr steady the tank with one hand.
In the back.
Okay, so now that the tank is out, you guys can see here this clip that held the diesel exhaust fluid.
Yeah, so it's just a little
little
off. And then this guy here, these are pretty tight on there, so I ended up going off the top and just cutting the zip ties. It pulled right off the top. I didn't want to break it up here because you can't really see what you're doing. These guys, 2 hose clamps right here. You can get on the outside of the frame pretty easy. And then this guy just has a little blue clip. Pop that out, and on the back of it is a little push button. Pull that off. This guy, the connector, standard. There's no red clip or anything, so you just push down the tab, pull it out, and then this guy's, the standard. Just pinch those.
Yeah,
and take
so
it out. It was
this
super easy. Everything was.
This will be your supply. That's your return. And now let's go ahead and get it changed over. Thoroughly inspected the tank for debris. Meyer got the factory snap ring or retaining ring knocked off. Just a hammer and a chisel. Again, I don't know how relevant this is gonna be for you guys if you're doing this on an older truck, but this thing has come apart stupid easy. So now
It's actually really refreshing.
Yeah, so now you take this ring off, and they said pay really close attention to this tab here, because this tab's what sets it, the location. Then we grab our Titan O-ring right here. We're gonna lube it up, they said, with a little bit of fuel, and drop the sending unit in. And they said to be careful of the level arm, which is down at the bottom here. Can you help a brother out? Like so. And then we're gonna go ahead, guide this lever arm in, spin it. And as you guys can see here, it's still got a little bit of pressure, which is what they said it would have. And that little bit of pressure is what allows you to keep your factory fuel sending unit and not have to worry about quarter tank problems. So we'll get this lined up here. There you go. Put this ring on here. I'm not sure if the ring is quite directional or not. You want to hold the chisel? Ready? So we got it in the notches now that we think are supposed to be there. I'll be honest, the instructions are kind of lackluster in this department, but oh well. We will go ahead and get this fuel tank finished being prepped. This line here, we got to like cut or pull off and slip on there, and then she's ready to go back in the truck. Oh, look at that, just pulls right off.
So yeah, I could have just disconnected from that side.
Yeah, well,
Didn't
hey.
come off from the, hey, it was,
Yeah. So now we'll go ahead and get the bracket on for the front support of the tank, which is only done on mega cabs and short beds. On this support bracket, the instructions kind of suck.
no, if you read them, they're not too
But,
bad. But
so here's your def tank. Here's a hole that's blocked here. This is the hole back here. And what happens is the bracket uses these two hex cutouts right here.
they just
as
act as dowels. They don't
dowel.
go through the frame. So you just kind of put the nut bolts in, and then just kind of get started, and then just kind of rotate them until they go in. So one there, you gotta go down a little bit. Oh, there's two sets of holes. Okay, I see what it is.
Okay, so we'll get this bracket in, show you guys what it looks like. All right, here's the finished product. This is the front support. Again, you use the one bolt, and then it triangles down here, and then you have those dowels that hold the shape there. We got our two straps in. Everything's transferred over. Time to throw this puppy in. I don't even think we need a jack, honestly. We shouldn't need to because there's a fixed support up front. So, the last thing we gotta do before we toss it in though, we gotta put these chafing straps on here. This is to protect the tank from the straps cutting into it. These just slip on, and then the pressure of the strap against the tank holds it in place. So you're gonna get this tank in. This has to be loose, and you basically have to jam it. And then we slipped this rubber in. We covered it in Dawn dish soap, and just did this number and pushed it down at the same time. So here we have a Mar in the Wald. How's that whole thing working out for you there, dude?
Dude, it's working so good. You have no idea.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those that I feel like you need to install with a friend, because this has been absolutely miserable.
For who?
For me, dude.
Oh yeah.
I've been having to wait.
Dude, it's rough. I know. I'm lying, bro.
So Myra is zip tying up that line that he said wouldn't disconnect, which actually we figured out disconnected, but none of us have ever worked on a 2021 before, so you know, better safe than sorry. We got the supply filler neck and the vent hooked back up. We got the straps tightened, and it is definitely a lot larger. Like, wow, really big, really huge. And you guys could see, one of the cool things I noticed while we had this in the air is look at all the webbing on these AAMs now. I mean, this is just beef that they've added. And you guys can see, a little tight on the fuel tank, but still has clearance. All in all, looks pretty good. Got the DEF line rerouted. And everything looks good. Again, here's another angle, tight, but it'll fit. We just gotta throw the drive shaft in and start filling it. All right, guys, I know we've been nerding out, but check this out. I'm not sure what year this started, but they put a CV joint instead of a double cardan, which pretty freaking sweet if you ask me. And then they went with a traditional U-joint on the front portion there, but that is quite cool. And for those of you guys that aren't familiar, I think 13 and up, they went back to this CAD design. This was really popular with second gens, and then it sucked. And then Ram did a solid solid axle shaft here, which was much better. And then they're like, I know how to make it even better. Let's go back to the same tragic setup we had, only let's make it electronic. So just solid job by Ram. And they made the axle now two-piece, the tube itself. So just more places for that to break. Really, really nice job there. Okay, lastly, let's go ahead and add this about 4 gallons of diesel and hope we make it to the gas station down the street here. And by the way, these new trucks kind of suck with the little cap there. And for everybody asking, or that I feel might ask, these are dirt bike jugs. White's gas, green's diesel, works out great. And again, doesn't spill. It's got a nice flexible filler neck, works great on race trucks, works great on regular trucks. It's green, so it kind of keeps some of the sun out. Very easy to hold with the 2 handles, and the breather makes life awesome. Let's see what it has to say for fuel mileage here. Or range, rather. Yikes. Start it. So, got enough fuel. Let's get this thing, oh my God. Let's get this thing over to the fuel station before we run out completely. It says we got 22 miles to E. I would estimate that's probably pretty accurate given how much we just put in. So without further ado, let's go fill this up. We've barely made it. I'm not sure if it was the Aisin or if it was the trans, or sorry, not the trans, but like it was bucking. I'm almost wondering if we're out of fuel, but we made it. Let me get this thing filled up and show you guys the damage. Now, for any of you guys that know the struggle of the new trucks with the really small filler necks, what I've found is I take this DDP nozzle or bottle that I use for my race truck. I put the dose of hot shots required in the tank in here, and then I stick this down the hatch. So just a little tip for you guys, especially with the newer trucks. So far, tank hasn't fallen out. I don't see any leaks, so we are good to go. I clicked off at 150, and I will show you guys the receipts so we can add it up. We have 40.99, we'll call that 41, plus 4.6, so that's 45.5, plus the 3 gallons that we put in there. So that puts us at like 48.5. So this truly is a 50-gallon tank. Now, I haven't reached out to Calibrated yet, but I am curious if we can reset the miles to E for a 50-gallon tank. I assume since it's a factory option, it should be available to the calibration side. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this wasn't necessarily a how-to, just an upgrade that we are doing to the tow rig. This is a Titan XL 50-gallon tank. Little bit of a pain in the butt to install. I really don't think it's their fault. I just think it's tight and they try to use every inch of space. So the whole thought was this 32-gallon tank. We average about 10 miles per gallon. We were filling up every like 200 miles. I don't like to run past a quarter. Now we should be able to go 400 miles without a problem. Stretch it even maybe to like 450. So this will be nice for road tripping, especially when we go to Indiana, Ohio, stuff like that. Hopefully you guys like this video. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will catch you on the next one.